So we're going to install a brand new stud into each of these holes. Now, you never want to screw in the new stud immediately after extracting the old stud. You'll wind up knurling these threads with the messed up threads inside your manifold. So what you need to do is you get a tap. Okay, there's a tap handle. And this cuts threads inside any hole. In this case, what we're doing, this is called chasing. So we're going to screw this down in there. I'm going to very lightly turn it so that it goes into the threads. The lubrication. I'm going to go back and forth. Go in quarter or a third of a turn. Feel crunching. Back it up. When you back it up, the chips that you cut will be pushed into these recesses. Gets them out of the way. We'll go all the way through. Whoop, touching the vise there. So we'll loosen the vise. Bring it up a little ways. Oh, you can tell it's live video, huh? Alright, well, that's good enough. All right, it's nice and smooth. Ooh, there we go. A little bit of crunchiness. A little bit more lube. They sell drill bits that have taps built onto them. Do not use those for this application. You want to be able to feel the progression of your tap through the manifold. There we go. Nice, very nice. This has 4 flutes. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4 flute allows you to align it by hand. Okay. If you have a 3 flute or a 2 flute, then that's designed to be used with a mill machine or drill press, and you got to be real good to use those. So now I am going to screw this in by hand. Oh, that feels beautiful. I could probably run that all the way through. Now you'll notice a couple of things. Here's the old stud. It has a flat surface there. That's so you can grip this with a little wrench and turn it in. My new stud has a little hex hole in there. Actually, it's a funny star, some safety torques. Now, theoretically, if you just keep screwing this, it'll go through. So what I'll do is I will measure the depth that this is supposed to go in, and then I will peen 2 of the threads. That way, as those peened threads turn into the manifold, they will lock it in place. It'll also make it easier to remove should I ever need to service this manifold again. So we're going to install our new stud. First, we have to peen the thread so that our new stud doesn't disappear in there. I'm going to measure pretty close to where the old stud is, and put my chisel on there. I'm going to peen the thread. Peening is slightly deforming. Let's see what we got. Alrighty. Let's try and focus on that. What I'll do, I'll make a couple of those. That's going to prevent this from screwing all the way in. Okay, so I put a pretty good peen on here. See that? I'm going to take an anti-seize compound, put it on there. That way, if we ever have to service this manifold again, we can. So I'm going to screw that in there. We have nice renewed threads. That peen now stops me. And what I'm going to do, remember that there's a little torques in the end there. All right, now we're back in focus. Sorry about that. I'm just going to snug that in. And that way it'll stay. And when I put my downpipe on there, you can see there's enough room for a nut and a washer. Now, I did buy special nuts. This is an automotive grade brass nut. So the next time the Y pipe has to be replaced on this vehicle, or any service has to be done, if by chance this nut seizes because of rust and heat and every other thing that happens under the hood, then it'll be easily removed. You can cut that off with a chisel. You can bang on it. I mean, just you can destroy this nut without harming the stud. And if we need to take the stud out, we can stick a Torx fastener in there and unscrew it. It's not going to be seized in there because of the anti-seize lubricant we used. And on to the next stage, because I'm going to do the other 5 off camera. Alright, so I skipped a step. I took out the studs and I reconditioned all the gasket surfaces on both manifolds. And I used my $10 grinder with a flat disc and cleaned them all up nice. Ran them across my belt sander to make sure I had a nice flat sealing surface. If you get any really low spots or high spots, you'll find you have a leak with a brand new gasket. You don't want that. Now we go over here to the engine and we can see that we have a very nice gasket surface also. Makes for a good job. And there we have it. Nice reconditioned manifolds. Cleaned up gasket surfaces. Brand new studs. Insert it with anti-seize. Antique manifolds. Ready to go. Like and subscribe, or I'll set this fella loose in your garage.